What's up guys, it is Rouge here and I'm bringing you another Dragon Age Inquisition video. But today, unlike usual, we are not doing a mage build. We are actually going to be doing a rogue build just because I've been having so much fun on the rogue assassin. Now, I have seen these crazy Tempest, like one-shot dragons, but they all use this annoying spell that is one of the focus spells. However, this build does not require any focus to be good, and to be honest, they all rave about it, all this focus stuff, but the problem is you need that focus, and it is just frustrating me that all these people were raving so hard about Tempest when actually Assassin is really good. It's just they hype up Tempest because of the focus ability, which to be honest is broken, but it doesn't matter. Because when you don't have focus, guess what? You ain't broken that much. But it is good nonetheless. But today we're going with the Assassin on Cold, just because I found it so damn fun. So we're going to start off in the Subterfuge. I can never pronounce this thing, but basically it's the stealth tree. And we're going to start off with stealth. It is pretty key to any single rogue, anyone at all, because you go into stealth. Everyone knows what stealth is. You're invisible to all the enemies, and if also you get this damage bonus by 50% for 30 seconds, which is crazy. So you get this crazy damage bonus, and because it's 30 seconds, the cooldown is only 24 seconds. You pretty much always got it, and it's a cost of 20 stamina, and pretty much you get that straight away because you use it when you're not in combat, and then you come out of it in combat. So you've always got this 50% damage bonus. Now you can get this lost in the shadows, where it allows you to remove all deliberating effects and you can pass through enemies. I really don't see the point of this because you don't want to be passing through them. You can just get around them with stealth and then stab them in the back. It's no problem. It's just a waste of a point in my eyes. Now the only reason we really go down here is to get the Shadow Strike, and the ambush is pretty good, but mainly the Shadow Strike. So you do have to go into evasion, which is pretty good. So it has a 5% chance to activate. It's not big, it's not really a massive spell, but it's just to get down here in a tree. And the same goes for evade. Evade is good, I think, for actually just getting to where you want, not actually leaping away. There have been people showing how it doesn't really work, how if they're in mid-attack animation and you evade it, you won't actually evade. So it's pretty pointless. For that reason, for actually evading. I think it's great for getting where you want, when you want, because you can just jump, and if you've bursted or something and you need to just get out, just evade out. Even if you get hit once or something, it's just a quick mobility move that is always there when you want, with a cooldown timer of 2. So it's really good just for getting where you want for the mobility. So we're going to go into ambush here. So when you're stealth, while you're in stealth and shortly after leaving it, which is 6 seconds after leaving it, your attacks ignore some of your target's armor. So you're getting this 50% armor penetration. Now this will come in useful as why we don't take spells and passives in the future. But anyway, it gives you this nice 50 armor penetration for all those tanky, annoying mobs. But anyway, we're going into the real one, which is the Shadow Strike, where you take an enemy by surprise with an attack they never saw coming. And if you are in stealth, or have not been damaged recently, this attack hits even harder. Now it does 400% by itself, and then if you are in stealth or haven't taken damage, you get this 200%, and that damage threshold is 5 seconds. So if you haven't taken damage in 5 seconds, your Shadow Strike will do a lot of damage. And I have, after playing this, it feels like a lot more when you hit them without taking damage, a lot more. And this is a big 50 cost stamina spell, with a cooldown timer of 16 seconds, but it is a great spell that you always want to use and can really deal a lot of damage. Now we're going to go into the Quick Blade. This is the first little sub skill we've gone into. Now what it does is it costs less stamina, so now it only costs 40. Brilliant for such a good spell, and all your cooldowns get reduced by 4 seconds, so everything gets reduced by 4 seconds. And seeing as you pretty much use Shadow Strike as soon as you can, it really does help allow you to get maximum damage out. So now we're going to go into the Sabotage tree. Now I don't see the point in poison weapons in late game, just because you've already got all these spells that take up the board that are just that are just better than poison weapons, and in a late game situation it really doesn't do much, whereas down this side it is. Now we take claptraps for no point whatsoever, but just to get down here to one of the best passives for rogues possibly ever, which is Looked Like It Hurt, where the worst mistake your enemies can make is to let them flinch. So basically, whenever you score a critical hit, you restore 10 stamina, and this build is got some big crits, so you're going to be restoring a lot of stamina. So it makes those things like the 40 stamina cost Shadow Strike, they don't really feel like a lot because you're just gaining so much stamina. And then we go into cheap shots here, so your crits hits tear through enemy armor, leaving it sundered for a short time. So this again, that you're reducing their armor, so you've got 50 armor penetration, you take off their armor when you crit hit, and as soon as it's a crit build, they've basically got no armor. And this will also come in useful to why we don't take things in the future. Now I am a level 22 rogue. Now I did take this just recently, however something like Look Like It Hurt, you only take this when you have the right amount of crit. If you don't have the crit, just don't go into this. I think really the best things to go in at a low level is the double daggers, just because it is the main kind of spells. This tree here, it is massive. The Shadow Strike is one of the biggest spells of the rogue, especially with stealth. Stealth you should always take no matter what, and try and get down to Shadow Strike as soon as possible. Double daggers, you want to get stuff as soon as possible. And Assassin, well, that's just this is just a burst, so you don't really require it at a low level, but when you can, it is great to have. But this is a high-end game build. So now we've got these two trees, we are going to actually just go down into double daggers, where we do take flank attack, where you leap through the shadows to attack your foe with deadly strikes that hit them from behind. Now this comes in very useful why we want to be behind them. And also I took this little upgrade here quite recently as well, so maybe when you're lower level don't take it. But what it does mean is before your target turns to face you, you move into stealth. So you go back into stealth. So things like Shadow Strike, anything that's propped by stealth or just after stealth, Skirmisher will allow that to happen, which is just a great addition to have. So then we're going down Twin Fangs, where you lash out with both of them, damaging with bonus damage if you flank them. So this is really a spell you want to use when you're behind them, when you've just flanked attacked or come out of just stealth, because that's when you'll be behind them. And then Ripping Fangs as well, because you attack and your target's armor sundered. So you'll do 100 bonus damage. So on the number of hits, which is 2, per hit does 200%. If you're flanking, it does an extra 200%, so that's 600%, with a cooldown timer of 6 seconds, cost of 50, but with an extra 100 damage bonus, and it gets rid of their armor. So this is a great spell to use when behind them. It does immense damage. Now we're going into Dance of Death, so you regain stamina with every kill, and really you're killing a lot of people. So this is great because you restore that 50 stamina, which basically gives you another free Twin Fangs or something like that,
which can really turn the fight. So
you will be gaining a lot of stamina with this build. Now we're going on to Sneak Attack here. So attacks upon your target's back or flank are much more likely to be killing blows. This is why things like stealth and flank attack are so good, because you will just get this massive crit hit chance. Now this build is crit, and I do have a 43% basic crit chance, which is massive, which is what the kind of crit you want. And Sneak Attack just takes this up to 87. So when I'm behind them, I got this 87% crit chance, which is humongous, and that's why I can take spells like Look Like It Hurt, and it really helps because pretty much every hit you do will restore that 10 stamina. So you'll be restoring a lot, and you're also with just other spells just critting just does so much damage. If their armor is reduced and you're getting these crits out, it's really helping. And now we're going to go down to Death Blow. So you lash out hard and swift with a deadly strike against a wounded enemy. So you do 3% extra damage for every 1% missing health. Now that goes to 50. So they need to be low, and 50% is the highest, as in, like, for 1% missing health, 100% missing health won't deal the 3. The 1% only goes to 50, so you can only have 50 times 3, which is 150% extra weapon damage. But it does have a base 300%, and you do lash out with both daggers, I believe. Every time I've used this, I seem to hit twice, and it's just such a great ability to finish up with such high damage when they're on a low health. And then this, the Thrill of the Victory, which I did take again as a late game skill. So if I were you, I'd take it only when you're a higher level. So what you do is your strikes bite deeper, and if you would kill them, basically it just goes to no cooldown. So if you're in a fight, everything's pretty much low, you can basically just go death blow, death blow, death blow. And because it's 50 stamina, and your Dance of Death restores 50 stamina, you can keep using it over and over and over again, and it also gives it more damage, so it's brilliant. Especially with the Dance of Death being a death blow, it's just ridiculous. Now we're going into the assassins. Now we only go down this side once. It's when a wounded enemy is the perfect target, so your attacks are deadlier, so they get 2% for every 10 missing health. So this works so well with death blow, just because you're getting loads of damage for them not having health. It helps with every ability, but death blow especially, because death blow itself has this damage for missing health. So this is a great ability to have. Now we don't go down the knockout bomb just because I don't really feel that it is that useful, as well as gaps in the armor, which your attacks slip past them. We don't need this armor penetration because we've sundered their armor. We got the armor penetration already, so we don't need this. But where we are going is in the hidden blades. So what happens is you basically throw a knife at them, and a load of hits come out. 3 hits if you just take it normally, and each hit does 300%, so that's 900%, and it's got a big cooldown. But remember, with Shadow Strikes, it does reduce that cooldown by 4 seconds every time you use it. So it does sound like a long time, but when you're in battle, it actually feels pretty short. But we are taking the overkill, where the cooldown reduction is by 4, so it goes down to 28, which is brilliant. And you get 3 additional hits, so you get 6 hits, which is crazy. So you get a 1,800% damage. It's brilliant. It has a very high stamina cost, but it's so worth it on big targets. I have faced archdemons and used Mark of Death with Hidden Blades and killed them instantly. So it really is massive damage. Now we're going down to I Was Never Here. So you've learned to use the distraction of enemies' death to slip into the shadows. Killing a target removes any cooldown on stealth. This is brilliant. Once you've killed them, you can just jump straight into stealth. So if you want to jump on something, quickly get back out with stealth, you can, because with this build you can deal some heavy damage pretty quickly. And then we're going on to Knife in the Shadows. So you're deadly, so you're coming. So when you attack from stealth, you automatically crit. This helps with all the crit bonuses that this build brings, getting that stamina and extra stuff like this. So it's great. It's massive, just critting all the time, dealing such high damage. Then we're moving on to Mark of Death, which is really good. So what it does is this one again is you throw a knife at them, and what happens is all of the damage over the time, 8 seconds that it's on them, it stores 100% of that damage, and then when you use it again, it blows it up. Now I have found that activating it before it runs out seems to do more damage. As you see, that you can manually trigger the mark early for bonus damage, and it really is worth keeping an eye on your Mark of Death and the timer, because that's how I've been able to destroy archdemons, because I've been able to use Hidden Blades and I put them down to about 3/4 health with armor, and then because of Mark of Death, triggering it early just makes them go splat. And it's a 10 stamina cost, and why you can do such bursts is because you with that your burst is a 75 stamina cost, which is great, and it does so much damage, and again quite a short cooldown, especially with a Shadow Strike. Now I don't take the Mark of the Doom, because guess what, it leaves your enemy vulnerable, but guess what, we've already got all of these extra bonuses, so we don't need it at all. So that's just the build, and now I can show you some combat. Now Assassin, this build, they are ridiculously squidgy. You want to be careful on where you're going, what you're killing. Now I do try and kill the biggest targets first, just because That's the best thing to do, get them out of the way. And as you can see here, everything is the same. So what we want to do is really just make sure we ain't getting hit. That's what you want to do. So we're going to pick off this target here, go up behind it, and as you can see, it's pretty much very low already, and we can already get a death blow on it. And you can see the amount of damage coming out is ridiculous, and we got that re-stealth into it for a nice big damage on Shadow Strike if I was targeting the right guy. But there we go, see, look, 3k, it's big damage everywhere, and you just do so much damage with the death blows as well going off. You've got your stealth constantly up. There's just everything good about it. It just does so much damage. Out of the whole team, I am doing the most damage on this rogue by far. As you can see, a massive 4k crit with Shadow Strike. You don't even have to hit them straight away. You can see I missed it quite a bit, and still did a lot of damage. Now I want to show you the burst, which we're going to cast on this guy. Now I do have all my stuff, so we're going to first cast Mark of Death, which didn't actually go off. But anyway, I did use the hidden blades on this target here, which just got destroyed. My mark of death actually went on a different target because I killed them so quickly. So you could imagine on something like an archdemon with such high damage, if you get a mark of death first, it's just ridiculous damage. So we're going to jump on them here with a flank attack and then try and Shadow Strike. And you should see a lot of damage there. They're pretty much on half health already. It's just crazy damage. And as you can see how squidgy you really are. I was in the middle of them, got just one hit on me and I'm dead. And this is why I like to take a mage. I actually have Vivian here with a revival, because it's so many times this happens where you'll just get one hit, just because of the amount of damage that gets put on you. And there is a fear demon, so we can pretty much just go up, smash it in the back, and just do loads of damage. And you can see there the death blow hit a lot. If we go here, try and get a death blow on this Greater Shade on quite high health, if I even had the energy, which I didn't. But you can see the crazy amount of damage that it's doing. 4Ks everywhere, just destroying pretty much in seconds, dropping every single target. And I have killed archdemons and extra. It is just ridiculous damage. That's what the rogue is about, doing high damage. And as I showed you earlier, they are so squidgy. So you want to take a tank, and preferably someone with a revive. It helps so much. The amount of times I have died. Now this isn't the best build for taking on dragons, because they have AoEs and etc. that will just kill you instantly, but for literally everything else, it is amazing. For bosses that aren't dragons, this is amazing. Archdemons, you can literally 2-hit, just absolutely destroy. Dragons, not so much, but everything else, this is one of the best damaging builds, best damaging characters, best damaging class with the assassin, due to the Mark of Death and Hidden Blades. And guess what? This doesn't require any focus from a Tempest. So don't everyone go crazy about the Tempest, raving about it just because of some focus ability, because Hidden Blades and Mark of Death are such a great combo, and I have 2-hit archdemons with no focus. That's why I love this build. It's just such high damage, and really, it's just fun. I've never really played Rogue that much, and I have had so much fun playing this Rogue build. It is great fun. I know you guys will have fun if you have it. My main guy is a mage. I do play mage, but recently I have just been taking control of Cole, just because I've been enjoying it so much. So I hope you guys do try this build out, because it really does do a lot of damage, and it's just fun. Make sure the tank gets aggro first. Make sure you've got someone with a revive, and also, not to mention, which I didn't mention before, is to have some mage, preferably Vivian, because we've already gone on the spirit tree, with rejuvenating barrier, because it makes all those stamina recharge even quicker than normal. So you know you're getting that stamina from kills, stamina from crits. You also get stamina for a barrier, which is great. so you pretty much never run out of stamina as long as you're always hitting and killing, and it's just a ball of fun, to be honest. It's a ball of fun, and you do a shit ton of damage. Thanks guys for watching. I hope you liked it. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.